All right, we're going to try this again. Good morning, and hopefully we can get Robin on here. I don't know why we can't. So, okay. I'm not going to share it until we get her on here. Okay, Robin, let me. There we go. Now I'm going to. It should be sending you an invite. Here we go. Always technical difficulties. I hear you. There she is. Good
Hi.
morning.
Good
Do you have
morning.
any headphones?
Yes, I had to pull some junk ones out of my drawer because I left them at
Okay.
home.
Because the feedback will like be too much if you don't have headphones in.
Okay, can you
Yeah,
hear me?
I
Can you
can
hear
hear
me?
you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to get sharing. So just give me 2 minutes here to, well, not 2 minutes, but let me get sharing this. We have people anxiously awaiting our conversation in worldwide.
Awesome.
Yes. Where are we? How are you doing? How's it? What are you under major rain down there?
Yes. So we didn't have any rain for March and April like we normally do, and then now we've just been flooded with it.
Yeah, I've been seeing other like people on Instagram and stuff like it's downpouring big time.
Mm-hmm. It's going to stop at, yeah, it's going to stop here. It's actually already stopped in Arlington where
Oh,
I
okay.
am.
Rex was asking me this morning. He's like, where is she?" And I said, "I think I don't know, she's close to Dallas, I think. Is that right?"
Yeah, I live about 25 miles south in the
Oh,
country.
okay, right. All right, let me share this. Why can't I share? So yes, everybody is very excited about our conversation, which is good. All right, where are you? I apologize for this, guys. It's always my worst thing. I need Mike to be like sharing with me here.
I'm just roaming
You
around my
roam.
office. I'm going to turn the lights on.
Okay, I'm gonna. How's everybody that's joining us? We've got Josh, Keith, Dave, Brandon. How are you guys this morning?
Is everyone flooded?
Thank you. Josh, did you share it in Worldwide? I, for some reason, can't share. Oh, there we go. All right. Sorry, guys. I know this is the annoying part. We'll get to the conversation. I need an assistant. Okay. All right. Okay.
And I thought for sure I was going to be able to do it on the
You
iPad.
know what? We try. I know somebody had. Who was it? I think it was Karen that I had on here a couple weeks ago, and she tried to do it. No, actually, it was Lori Dangler, and she tried to do it. I don't know if it was an iPad, but it was from another device, and it wouldn't work. So that's why I wasn't sure if that was a good thing to do or not. So, but it's all good. So I'm glad you decided that you wanted to come on.
Sure.
Yeah, it was when you asked me that I was like, yeah, she's got lots to talk about, so that's awesome.
Absolutely.
So where do you want to start? I think I'm the
You're the
master
master at
at
this.
this. Yeah, okay. So I guess to start, how you and I got connected was through our friend at Spray Foam Worldwide, right? Through
Right.
that group and
Right.
kind of, back and forth. And then we got to meet that was in Dallas at that trade show, which was
Mm-hmm.
so awesome. And yeah, we've just kind of grown together in those groups. And, I have your letter you sent me after I departed that last
Awesome.
employment. I have it hanging on my wall. That was very, very sweet of you to do that. So I thank you
You're
for doing
welcome.
that. So, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you, I guess, really, how did you get started? You mentioned the other day actually that you have been on your own since 14, which is very like,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty, that's young to start on your own. So I guess is how did you from 14 to like I guess kind of go from there? How did you Oh, I think we're technically we got I think we have a frozen moment in Dave. Uh-oh. We lost her. Sorry guys. She'll come back on. Hi Lisa, how are you? Sorry, I'm just messaging her. Hi, Bill. Okay, well, until she comes back, how is everybody doing this morning? We've had a few glitches. It's all good. Um, when she gets back, we'll learn a little bit more about Robin because I think she's got lots to say. She mentioned to me that she started on her own at age 14. So that's pretty young to be on your own. So I'm anxious to see what she has to say about that. But until she comes back, how's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing good. It's beautiful here in Vancouver. We are not under rain like where Robin is right now. So it's nice and sunny here. I'm representing worldwide in the original first shirt. So this is 2016 edition with the names on the back. So hopefully, I don't know where she went. We may have to end this and start again, you guys. I don't know. This morning we're having a little, it's always a challenge with when you go live. You never know what's going to happen technically. So I'm hoping she comes back because I don't see her in the comments either. So if not, until she comes back, does anybody else want to come on the screen? We can chat. We can make this a group effort this morning. Say yes if you'd like to join me and fill in as for Robin. You need some spray foam worldwide swag. Yes. I know I've got this, and actually, I got this made. And I'm not kidding, and I've said this before. It's a little like, I don't know what you call it, but Mike made me this. And it's like a little backpack. And I've always said it's awesome for kids people who have kids because they can carry their own junk in there. Keith, do you want to come on with me? I'm going to invite you on until we get Robin back. Where are you, Keith? Oh, Keith, you've got to... Are you on your phone? Oh, there she is. Sorry, Keith, you're getting bumped. Here she is back. Keith, you need to come on, though. All right, we're connecting. There she is. We lost ya.
Hi. So I started and it said 78%. So I'm like, I'm good.
It
And then
died.
it
Yeah.
just went dead.
I know I think when you go live, it like sucks the life out of the phone. So I've got like my chargers here, but yeah, it can suck the life out of the phone. No, it's all good.
Sorry about that.
That's the beauty of going live. It's like you never know what's going to happen. So, all right. So, on your own at 14. So do share. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, so I came from a dysfunctional family. My father passed away when my mother was
Oh, wow.
pregnant with me. And so he died in July and I was born in November. And yeah, so it was a really pretty, she was an alcoholic and it was a rough life, but
yeah,
I made the best of it. And she kicked me out when I was 14 and I went to live with my grandma, and I call her Granny, and I love Granny. Oh man, I am just like Granny. So it was probably the best thing that ever happened
sometimes
to me.
those things do, like, it's that whole thing where, those experiences, you can take that one way or you can take it another, and you can either like allow that to eat you up forever, or you can grow from it. And sometimes, I've always said this too, people, not everybody's meant to be a parent, and kicking you out was her way of, I guess, dealing with that in her own way. But you know what? Like you say, it's the best thing she could have ever done. And I have my own experience with that, not being kicked out, but like with a biological parent. And I've always said, you know what? He wasn't meant to be a parent. And so the best thing he ever did was not, 100%.
Let go.
Like, I'm grateful that he did. I'm grateful for that choice he made. So I ended up, so.
Right.
But you lived with your granny till you were.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Till I was 18. So took off after my granny for graduation.
Wow.
She gave me $1,000, and I decided that I was going to go to California and be a movie star from Illinois.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how did that go?
It didn't go well.
Oh my gosh. That's cool.
So I ran out of money when I got to Phoenix, and I took a job at a place near Phoenix in Litchfield Park called the Wigwam, because I had waited tables. And there was a place, and if you wait tables, you know that you make the best money by working at 4-star or 5-star resorts. You can make $200 or $300 a night in tips. And so that's instant cash. And typically, if it's a resort, they have dorms for the employees to live in. So bam, took that job, got a place to live. You can eat at the employee cafeteria, and I'm making tons of cash. And that's where I met my husband. Now, Chad. So he was my waiter at that resort. And I ended up staying there and not going to California and dating.
And now you guys are married. So. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, we went off on our separate ways. He was ready to get married then. And I had just turned 19, and he just turned 17. And he was still a senior in school. And I'm like, we can't get married. Slow down. But he didn't want to. So I panicked and just threw all my stuff in my car, and I went back to Illinois.
Yeah.
I ran.
Yeah.
Ran fast. I didn't even say. I didn't even say bye.
Spun the tires. Let's get going. Oh,
I know. But anyway, I traveled all over after that, taking jobs. Back to Phoenix. I went to Detroit. I went to Seattle. And then I came to Texas in 2010. And they were all jobs in inventory control, which is what I love to do. I worked at Calgon. I worked for computer data storage companies. I worked for General Motors. I did parts for anybody that wanted to hire me, that needed me. And pretty much if they didn't need me, or I took a job there and I didn't feel needed, I quit. and just took
Right.
off and went somewhere else. I gotta feel needed, which brings me to this job, because normally I stay at a job for like 2 to 3 years. I
Yep.
fix all their problems. I make everything run smoothly, and then there's nothing left to do. I'm not needed any longer. And then I'm like, I have no purpose here. If I don't feel like I have
Right.
a purpose, or I'm value,
Yeah.
then I got to go somewhere else. It's not about money. It's about
Yeah.
personal
Oh, I get
fulfillment.
that very much. Like, I guess I've always defined how I work. That's who I am. So it's like I really define myself that. And I get myself in trouble because I feel quite often if I feel like I'm not doing enough, it's like, well, what is going on? Like I guess it's the same thing. It's like you need that, it's that you want to feel needed, and you need, like you're not fulfilled if that's not happening, kind of. I get that 100%.
Yeah.
I get that.
And that's probably why I stayed in the spray foam industry for so long, because I feel needed all the time, day to day. So-and-so's on the phone. He needs you right now. He's got to talk to you. And I'm like,
Yay!
I can help.
Yeah.
I can help someone and feel good about it. And I get to walk away and go home and go, I helped him, and I helped him, and them,
and I think
feel
too,
good.
like with worldwide and the other things on social media, what's awesome about that is, and you've done that, and I do have to say this, you've done this beautifully, where you have kind of come into those groups, and like we all started kind of roughly in those groups at the same time, and evolved into like you are in that group and you do it the right way, because you offer, whether it's about what your company that you work for or not, you'll go in and you offer to, like, somebody's got an issue, you'll go on there and like help. You go on and help them, and you can see how much your people love working with you, and that's exactly why, because you do go that extra mile for them. You do make sure that they are helped. You do that beautifully in there.
Even if
Yep.
Even if you don't make money, because I look at it this way: you help them, and they will appreciate it. And someday when they need a machine or a trailer, they'll call you.
It's the relationship building. It's not the, and we're seeing it right now a lot with that whole, it's the lowest price and we're the best and blah, blah, blah. You're not building a relationship. That's, to me, is a little bit of that old school, and apologies to anybody in the car industry, but it's that stigma of that used car salesman, which I know a lot of car salesmen, they're fine. But you know that like stigma that I mean. And it's just, to me, it just doesn't, I don't think it flies. It might work with some people, but we've lost the value of that personal relationship, I think. Yeah.
Right.
And you do that so well, because that's the thing. I talk about that all the time, about people are missing their opportunities in their left, right, and center all day long. And I don't understand why they don't see that. But anyways, you do it very well. So when did you start?
Thanks.
How did you get into the spray foam industry? Like, was it just you just randomly got a job and you now just stayed in the industry, or how did that work?
Yeah, so I landed in Phoenix once again, and I needed a job, and I got hired to do inventory for a company called Urethane Contractors Supply and Consulting, also known as UCSC. So they manufactured foam and sold it globally, and their cousin is known as SPI, and they made polyurea. And so our two owners were cousins, and they did polyurea and we did the foam part of it. And they wanted someone to help them with their inventory. They told me it was out of control, their parts, they had been missing things for years, and nobody could just get a hold of it. I'm like, I got this. I don't even know what foam is, but I got this. If it's got a part number, we'll get it in there. But they had when I got in there and I dug into their inventory, I had found that several people they had employed in their parts department had been taking things and working on machines and trailers and trucks and selling parts on the side. And that's where their inventory was going. I quickly, well, not quickly, because it took about a year to get it in order. And at that time, I just got finished, and Graco had bought Guzmer. And so they took all of their Guzmer things and made them Graco part numbers. So I had to completely do our inventory and such like that. But yeah, it was a huge undertaking, but I got it under control, and we were rocking and rolling, and then after I got the inventory, they go, you are really good with this. Like, I would help customers when they came in, you know, and they would show me something, and I would go, oh, I don't know what the part number is, but I know where it is because I put it away. And I'd run in there and go get it and come back out. And I'm like, nope, we got that. I know where it is. I don't know what it's called or but I've seen it before. And I go get it and come back. And he goes, you're really good with the customers. How about you work in the parts department? I go, oh, well, sales, because I don't know how to do any of that. He's like, you just get what they need and give it to them. And I'm like, okay. And so gave it a whirl, and very humbling experience because it had only been done by males before me. And some people would come in and be like, you know, I need to get some valving rods.
Can help you. Yeah.
Is there somebody that can help me? And I'm like, oh, let me see if I have any males available to help you. Nope, it's just me. Did you want some valving rods or not? So, Graco had come out with electric machines, and they had been taking off in the market. We had traditionally been a Guzmer distributor since 1970s. They had been selling Guzmer stuff. And when the Graco came out, nobody really liked it. And I liked it. I'm like, what are you talking about? This stuff is bomb diggity.
Yeah.
It freaking tells you what's the matter with it. They had error codes, and I go, and these error codes help me tell the customer what they need on the phone. I didn't have to know much. Just go. I had to know how to get in a manual and walk them through the steps of getting their machine going. Pretty soon, I was like helping everybody that wasn't even our customer because they heard about me, able to find what they needed and have it. I started stocking it. I started selling it. And everybody's, oh yeah, call that Graco girl over at
the Graco girl. Oh,
that's what they called me. And this one guy, I went to one of the conventions. He goes, he didn't care for Graco too much. He had Guzmer, and he goes, oh my God, you're so far up Graco's ass, you probably have a G on your underwear. And I was like, no. It was just helping people. That's all I was doing. They wanted to buy a machine, and I said, if you want me to sell you this spray foam machine and you want me to help you, because you're going to need me to help you, I'm shipping this to Oklahoma, and I need to help you afterwards. I'm going to send a trainer, but from what I've seen, you just don't get everything in 3 days. You'll need me to help you
Right.
work through things
Mm-hmm.
when you have troubles in a year or more,
Yeah.
or whenever it happens. And if I sell you this Graco machine, it's going to help me and you figure out what's wrong with it over the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and we can get you up and running. So that's what it came into. And then pretty soon, I'm not going to lie, I was selling 5, 6,
Wow.
7 rigs a month. We couldn't
Yeah.
even build them fast enough. So Graco started building them for us. And we
Yeah.
were pumping them out, pumping them out, pumping out.
Right.
But we needed them at that time. At that time, in 2005, I think the SPFA, we had 20
Wow.
booths. I mean, it
Yeah.
was teeny.
Yeah.
So that's what I enjoy. I enjoy helping customers. I felt like I was doing a good job helping customers, putting them in the industry. We
Yeah.
needed more foam contractors. They were all running around like they were crazy trying to get jobs done. People saw what we were doing and they started doing it. And then they started popping up all over. So where we are today, people building them in their garages, setting up shop wherever, just pumping and pumping and pumping them out, because they're still sought after today. But nobody, in my opinion, it's always in my opinion, a lot of people don't do it correctly. They're just there to sell it, sell it, push it out the door so we can sell them foam. I think somebody on Spray Foam Worldwide, he said, I don't care about that. I don't care about the machines and all that. I just want to sell them juice.
Yeah, it's, and Rex and I were talking about this yesterday, and it wasn't to do with spray foam, but it was a different industry. And I said, it really is it blows me away every time when those people who are just like, it's just numbers, like they don't care. They just want to get the numbers. And it's like, at the end of the day, that might work for you for a while. You're not gonna sustain yourself in that kind of mentality. That mentality is fear-based mentality. And that comes up all the time. Like, you see it all the time in different areas and in spray foam and whatever. People are so scared of business or whatever it is. Like, and you can tell by how they are posting that it's totally a scarcity mindset, which it's hard to flip that because it gets confused. People get confused about scarcity and abundance, but it's when you're not building the relationship, you're not putting in the time with those people. And you know what? Those contractors need people to help them through those things. You can't just slam them out and go, okay, there you go. You need to be, they need to be mentored. They need to have people, like you and other people that are in this industry that give a shit about them. Because how are they going to succeed? They're going to fail if they don't have that. It's so key.
Right. And they do. We have a shop here because I'm at the office. I don't know if you can see out there, but we get rigs in here all the time, and we don't sell them. So they purchased them on the internet, and they bought them in Oklahoma, and they got their 4 hours of training, and they're on their way, and they have issues and they don't know what to do, and that person won't answer the phone. The biggest thing I have, and that's why I don't get along with some people that build rigs. It's not that I don't like them. It's that you sold something to someone, you took their money, you got that whatever commission it is, and you spent it and you shopped, and now they need your help, and you won't answer the phone. So now I'm going to help them, and I didn't get that commission to help support me through all these hours of talking and mentoring them and helping them and telling them. I'm not getting paid anything. I'm picking up your pieces. And I do it all the time. And I don't mind, like I said, because someday they may need something and buy
That's
something,
exactly
and they'll
right.
come to me.
People don't forget that.
Right.
Yeah.
She helped me when my shit was broke.
Exactly.
And I like
You
her.
took the time, and it's
And I'm
like you're saying, it's not because you're being paid to do it. You legitimately give a shit about that person. So yeah, they are going to remember that
yeah.
for sure. It's key.
Besides that, I want to make sure I always wanted to make sure that
Mhm.
everyone learns
Right.
how to spray good foam. I don't want homeowners getting a bad spray foam job and it get covered up with drywall. And I have asthma
Mhm.
and I have a hard time breathing all the time. And to live in that environment where bad foam was sprayed in the walls and it's
Yeah.
stinking and off gassing for the life of the house,
Right.
it makes me
Well,
want
and
to throw up.
it
So
doesn't help. That doesn't help the industry at all when you're trying to like educate customers who are going to be putting that, whether it's in their home or their commercial building or whatever it is. If you've got people out there who are just doing that, like they don't know what they're doing, it's blowing
mm-hmm.
it for everybody else in the industry, because those are the guys that's who people remember, and that's what they're going to talk about, right? So
Right.
it benefits nobody to give somebody 3 hours of training or whatever it is and see ya. Like, it doesn't benefit anybody at the end of the day, because that
Right. Right.
also it'll come back in the fact that, oh yeah, that company is the one who I got trained by, and now I'm losing my business because I don't know how to
Mm-hmm.
run it. Who are they going to go back and talk about? They're going to talk about the guys that trained them. So it'll end up coming back. It just does eventually. Yeah. So
Right.
you've been in, 2005, did you say? Is that when you started? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. 2004, I took the job, but I didn't really start
2005.
selling until
So
2005.
biggest changes in the industry would be what that you've seen since 2005?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
the foam has changed a couple
Mm-hmm.
of different times. And the way we sell it to customers, or the way that customers acquire the foam without training, and at
Mm,
Sherwin-Williams and at the
yeah.
local hardware store,
Mm-hmm.
that bothers me a lot. Um, the equipment's changed. You know, we had a lot of problems with the first reactor. We had a lot of problems when the electric reactors came out. So when the electric reactors came out, everyone jumped on the bandwagon, including
Mm-hmm.
myself. I'm very guilty, to throw an E20 in a trailer with a gas compressor and a gas generator and sell it for $30,000. And that's the price they sold for
Right.
back in
Mm-hmm.
2005 and 2006. Entry level machine to spray insulation, and we didn't know about heat, and we didn't know about
Mm-hmm.
gas generators catching fire and
Right.
compressors, but I think at that time we were training and we were selling to owner operators and not to people that want to buy 5 or 10 rigs and hire a bunch of
Right.
people to spray foam for them. I like to sell to somebody who tells me he is going
Mm-hmm.
to, or he or she is going to get in that rig and learn how to spray it and learn how to operate it. That is the
Right.
person I want to do business with, because if they're willing to get in there and do the hard work, then I'm willing to take my time to educate them on what they're doing wrong or what they need to do better. So there's been just a huge influx of people who see it online and think it's a great opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
start making money by buying a rig and hiring a bunch of people to make
Right.
them rich.
Yeah.
That's what they think it's
And
about.
that is not what it's about.
Not the case.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
the case. So yeah, there was a guy a couple months ago, and he said, well, he got my name and number from somebody referred him to me, and he's like, I got $65,000 to spend, and I need a rig in 2 weeks in Alabama. And I was like, I don't, hold on. I was like, first, and then I'm like, first of all, I don't want to sell it to him because I can see it's trouble written all over it. I go, have you even taken any training classes? Because you don't schedule jobs until you even know what you're doing. Are you going to sit in on the training? No. I go, well, here's a couple people's numbers that could sell you a rig. And I gave him some competitors' phone numbers. I said, because those are the people that'll sell you one and goodbye. But take my number, and afterwards, you'll probably call me. And sure enough, I've been talking to him, and it wasn't as easy as he thought, and it's not going as he had planned. He did get his jobs done. I'm very scared about what they looked like.
Yes.
But I can go, I didn't sell it to him.
Yeah. You see that people will post in Worldwide or in, so
I got a
what
new
does it
rig.
take to get into this business, or what are your, and I always read those comments and I'm like, oh, these people, what? They need to, go and be in the industry and learn it and then decide, because holy smokes, I mean, if they talk to some people that have, those independent guys that do own their rig, and that it's tough. It is not easy.
Yeah, we had a call yesterday. So Friday, they always come in on Fridays. Somebody's in town and wants to swing by and pick up a machine. So I think it was 2:00 yesterday, and I was just walking down the hall and coming from the warehouse, and they go, there's a guy on the phone and he's in town from Florida and he wants to swing by and pick up a machine. And I said, tell him it's not fucking McDonald's and we don't have a drive-through for machines.
Right.
I didn't know what to tell him, because obviously he thinks, oh shoot. So anyway, there's a guy here from Oklahoma, and I told him I would.
He's going to come. Can he be on the? He can come on the live with us.
Yeah. He calls last night at 6:30, wanting to know if he could drop off his rig today. I don't even know who he is, and I'm like, well, we're not going to fix it tomorrow, but we take a look at it on Monday. He's like, well, I got to drop it off, and I said, I'll meet you to drop it off, I guess.
Because you want to be needed, Robin.
I know.
It'll bite you. It bites you with that is it's a tough thing, because you want to feel needed, but then sometimes it's like, I don't want to be needed today. I don't want to do it today.
Yeah. I always, wherever I have worked, I always created an environment where I had created job security by making people need me. I don't know why I do that, but I'm a software specialist too. So I'm a super user for SAP, Oracle, you name it, I've mastered it. And so I create and show people steps to do to make their job easier. And then I go, well, call me if, I'll do this, and then call me if it doesn't work. And create reports and stuff like that. Because they'll always need me to change it up. And I don't know why I don't know why I do that. I think it's job security, And if I get to do things every single day that help people,
Right.
I feel
Yeah. And
rewarded
I
at
think,
the end of the
yeah,
day.
I mean, we all want to, I like to think we all like to do that, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And I was talking to Mike, Sweatshop Swag, Mike Cirqua, and I was saying to,
Mm-hmm.
like, I
Yeah.
just want, I'm having this struggle because and he goes, stop having such a Carla attitude about it. Just you're doing fine. Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, a Carla attitude. So now that's always, we have that little like inside joke or whatever. But it is, I catch myself all the time. It's like,
Awesome.
oh, you create that way, and then it's like, why am I doing that? Like, why do I do that? I don't know.
Why didn't I show them
Right.
how to do it so they don't ever have to ask me how to do it again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning that. I probably have a couple of thousand customers, maybe 3,000 all over the world. And I found that, I don't know if you knew this, but I took a couple months off a couple different times in the last 5 years. I get
Yeah.
so upset with myself because I can't get it all
Yep.
done in one day. You can only be on the telephone every single minute.
Yep.
And you got to go to the bathroom, and you got to have a cigarette,
Yep.
and you got to have something to eat. And with the social media and helping people, I want to help them on
Yep.
LinkedIn, and I want to help them on Spray Foam Worldwide and sprayfoam.com,
Mm-hmm.
and on phone and on email and on text
Yep.
and on Facebook Messenger. And and sometimes I will just, I'll break down and cry. I
100%.
cry.
Yeah,
a lot.
I know. And you and
A lot.
I know that you feel like I have that same thing, and I hate it. I hate it so much. Because all of a sudden, like, for 45 years of my life was not a crier. Oh, I don't know, for 5 years now, all of a sudden
Yeah.
it's like, what is this? It's so bad.
Bawling.
It's so annoying.
What are you saying? Is it the rocker
Oh my
didn't
God.
get here? He's not going to get his reversing switch tomorrow. Oh my
Right?
God, I promised him it would be there
And
tomorrow.
all, like, just like Niagara Falls. Like, it's so bad. I hate it so much too. Yes, I get you.
Mm-hmm. And my boss is all the time.
Breathe. Yep.
Stop, walk
Yeah.
away.
It really, I know with social media, and because that's what I do as well, like with the social media part of it, I was literally up until December, my phone was like under my pillow because I thought, what if somebody messages me and I don't get, like, I got to respond.
I got to
It
respond.
drives me crazy when where I worked previously, no return. Like, I'd be like, so-and-so needs you to call them. 16 hours later, no call back. Are you kidding me? Like, why are you not like it? It drives me crazy. I had to finally put my phone outside my room because I couldn't do it anymore. You're attached to that phone and you need that break. But, I think she froze. No weekend off. Oh, there she is. Okay, we lost her. Hang on, guys. How come I can't invite you on? Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties on the live again. Robin, I can't add you. I don't know why. What happened? There we go. She'll be back. The beauty of the live. There she is.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
I don't know how to do the one thing is I don't know how to do the live stuff. And
yeah.
I was like, I wonder what my battery is, if I'm going to be able to go tell this guy to pull the trailer over there. He can wait.
Yeah. So you've been with the company you're with now for how long?
7 years.
Oh, you've been with them for 7 years. Okay. And you guys were the ones that got the rig for SPFA.
Yeah, for Spray Foam Worldwide. Sure.
Yes. So that
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah. So Bill had called me with the idea,
Mm-hmm.
and immediately I was like, "Oh my God, yes! This
Mm-hmm.
is so awesome! Do you know how many people would be excited to win
Oh,
a rig?
yeah.
It could change their life. Of course,
Yeah.
I'll help."
Yeah. It looked beautiful. Like, holy smokes. It was, yeah, that was really something.
Mm-hmm.
I am one day going to get to one of those conventions. And I said last year, I'm not missing it. And I missed it. So maybe maybe next year.
Right, right.
I'd love to go.
The thing is, they have it in some of the most expensive
Mm,
areas of the country, which I don't necessarily agree with, because everyday contractors and sprayers want to go. I
right.
mean, I know thousands of sprayers that would love to go,
Yeah.
you know, but $300 a night in hotel and $1,000 to get in,
Mm-hmm.
it's just not feasible for somebody.
Right.
And I feel so bad. I do. I wish I could help them.
Well, and they think, like, I think those kind of things would be beneficial to those people. So it's interesting. And it always seems that, any kind of a convention or a trade show, the expense is astronomical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's always, to me, the days that they have them is always odd too. Like that one that we were at in Dallas, it was like a 1 day, I don't know, maybe 2 days, but it was like was it a Thursday, Friday? I can't remember. It was weird
Yeah.
days. And no, it
The
was Friday,
ICAA.
Saturday, I think. And it ended Saturday at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, this is the strangest trade show I've ever been to. Like, why is this ending at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon? I don't understand there's got to be reasons for that. So I don't know. I'm not a
Well, my
expert.
personal opinion is the ICAA and SPFA caters to, the big wigs up on the chain.
Right.
And they're having it at a place where those people can take their families and have a little vacation at Disney World and stuff like
Okay,
that.
gotcha. Mm-hmm.
But not everyday people can afford to go to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I couldn't afford to go to it if my company didn't pay for it back then.
Right.
When you're in your and certainly not stay at the $300 a night hotel, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, like the independent people that have a couple of guys that are, they have a crew of a couple of guys or whatever, who would like to take them. Then there's the expense of closing.
Reward them.
Well, go to that. They can learn some things. They can, take the classes that are offered. But then you're shut down. Right. So it's like there's so many factors in it. And I think that there could be some tweaking to those events, I think. But
I think there's going to be.
Yeah. Because I mean, I really feel that, too, with the amount of people in Spray Foam Worldwide and outside of that even, that people knowing about those conventions now is much more than before, right?
Right.
So there should be some tweaking to that, because you're going to you have access to way more people that may not have even knew you existed or, never thought about going. And I think there should be some kind of, I don't know. And the other thing too, I think that would be very beneficial is if they offered childcare services, kind of like when you go to IKEA and you can dump your kid at the playground at IKEA. Because I know there's a lot of wives that would like to go. Mm-hmm. And they don't have access to childcare or whatever it is, but at least if there was something there, they could benefit from that, even if they go for an hour. They at least get to attend. Their kids are happy because they're doing whatever kids are doing, and they're safe and they're taken care of. So I think there's a couple of things that could definitely be tweaked at those events for sure. To bring more people.
I think that's something that we could come up with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Babysitters, we could bring our teens.
Right.
My daughter, let it be, $5 a child or whatever, and a teenager walks away with $30.
Yeah.
I don't know if $30 is enough anymore.
Right.
Like my
Gosh, like you mean it's not like when I babysat when I was a kid and it was
for
like
$2 an hour.
right? I remember babysitting for like 2 days for this family, and I got $27 for 2 days.
Yeah. Yes, I
And
know.
you cleaned the house, you did the dishes, and you babysat those kids. So yeah, was well earned $27.
Yeah. Now my daughter is like, I'm like, unload the dishwasher, and she's like, how much are you going to give me? And I go, you're going to be able to keep your arms.
Yeah. She's how old?
17.
17. So she's graduating
Next year.
Next year. Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And then is she off to? Does she know what she wants to?
She
do,
doesn't.
Or? Yeah.
She doesn't want to do foam.
Mm-hmm.
Have anything to do with foam. I do have her work up here during the summers,
Mm-hmm.
and she is undecided.
Yeah.
So she said she does not want to go to college
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't go to college.
Right.
And I said, I didn't go to college because I didn't have any money to go. Nobody even told me what college was about.
Right.
And I'm sure they did in school, but I didn't really go to high school. I was like, not until they made me go. I wasn't going to go because I was like, what value would, like, she's experiencing?
Yeah.
There's no value anymore in going to high school.
Yeah.
They give them an iPad and they play on it all day. My son plays video games at school on his school issued laptop.
Wow.
All day.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I'm like, I had to install life lessons because I had to teach them how to write in cursive.
I saw your post on that, and I thought that was so awesome you were doing that, because those are the things that I know up here, I think there are some schools that implement those life classes, like the basics,
home economics.
Right? Yeah. Well, I mean, when we took home economics, we, I don't know that we learned a lot of good things in home economics, but yeah, it was very interesting. But like Wyatt is saying, yes.
Hey, Mike.
It's trade schools. They need them, and if you've got a trade, you've got something to fall back on, right?
Mm-hmm. Typing.
Yeah.
Typing. I learned how to type.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that would come in handy because you could be a secretary anywhere.
Right. I
was like, if I can type 90 words a minute, I can type whoever needs something typed at that time.
Yeah.
We typed on typewriters.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Even manual. Like, we started on a manual typewriter, went to electric, like, so fancy.
Yeah.
I took a class when I went to business college, which I didn't finish, but stenography. So I had to learn shorthand.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hated that class so much. But I still use, when I do write, the rare time, I do use some of those like little shorthand techniques. But yeah, it's those basic skills that are lacking so much. It's scary. But both my kids took a year off before they went into school. My oldest daughter was like, Mom, you know what? I don't want to go to school. Because I kept saying to her, like, why don't you just go and take, like, whatever it's called, general studies, or, that first year, and you can kind of then decide what you want. And she's like, I don't want to waste the money, because what if I don't like it? She's like she's a very logical kid. I don't know where she came from, but anyways, she's logical. And so it's like, you know what? Good for her. And she did. She worked in housekeeping in a hotel. Knew that was not what she wanted to do. My other daughter took a year off as well. She's in school now. So yeah, I mean, they need to take that time and figure it out. Who knew what they wanted to do when they were that age?
Right. Yeah.
If you did, you were lucky. I always said, like, You were super lucky that you knew that, because I had zero clue. Still maybe don't know. Still figuring it out.
I knew. The only thing I knew is that I wanted to get the hell out of that town that I was in.
Yeah.
I did not want to be stuck there.
Right.
I lived in a little town,
Mm-hmm.
and it was 1,400. Like my
Right.
graduating class was 30
Yep.
kids.
We had 28.
And everybody got married and had kids and lived in a trailer or whatever. And I was like,
Yeah.
I already seen on TV Wild America or whatever we watched with Jacques Cousteau and
Right.
Wild Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's it. Wild Kingdom. I was like, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there that I need to go do and see.
Yeah.
I can't be stuck in this town working at the state of Illinois for the rest of my life.
Right.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a different time back then for sure. It was, grew up it was, I think we had 28 in our class when I graduated, and farming community, and very, very small. So it was like, let's get to the city. I want to get to the city.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I've always lived in a big city since then.
Right.
To have all those amenities and stuff like that.
Right.
But then when I bought a house, I bought it in a small town, really small town.
Yeah.
So where I could have my daughter grow up in a small town.
Right.
Because I thought that was better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? It is a totally different mindset in a small town than it is in a city. And I think there's just as much things that you can get into trouble for in small towns as in cities, but everybody knows what you're doing. So you know what? You're going to get called out.
Right.
There's more eyes on you than you realize.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes. And now when was this? A year ago or 2 years ago, you had a pen in your backyard and you trapped
Hogs.
Yes. I remember seeing that poster. I was like, where does she live? Like, what is that?
Right. So we lived in, I bought a house in a really small town, and it's got like 13 streets one way and 13 streets the other way. And I bought it on the edge of town, and it's got, I can look like for 15 miles, there's nothing behind me.
Right.
And all of a sudden they decided that they were going to put a hospital in behind me. And so they started tearing the land down about a mile down the road from me. And as they were tearing down that, the hogs were coming up in our backyards because they didn't have anywhere to go. That's where they had lived their whole lives. But I had just bought the house, and I was planting flowers and a garden, and every time I went out there and planted something, they come and rooted it all up and ate it all.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so my husband, Chad, he's like, we're going to shoot him. And I'm like, oh, you're going to shoot him. I'm like, I had never really shot a gun. Graco took me gun shooting. I didn't even know how to shoot a gun.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm too scared. They put the bullets in and hand it to me. Sure, I can shoot it.
Yeah.
But we ended up calling a trapper because there was way too many. One time we went out there and there was like 25, and I was like,
and they're nasty too, aren't they? Like you posted was a video, I think, and I remember thinking, oh my God, like they're scary.
Mean.
Very mean. Yeah, like that's so foreign because I've never been around that. So it's like, what is going on? Like, where does she live?
Right. And we've had in our backyard, we've had a couple of bobcats, a mountain lion, wild turkeys.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. Not a fan of the turkeys. No. I don't like birds. Very scared of birds.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I don't know. I see. Oh, hello, Mike Callahan. Why?
So there was a lot of rigmarole this past week with regards to foam and foam pricing. Yeah, I'm at work.
Yeah, there's been yes, I've seen those posts.
Yeah, so I know couple thousand people all over the world that spray foam, and I'm nosy, so I immediately, whose foam you spraying? How much you pay? How much you paying? Huh? And I don't share that, until it got to where it got last week, and I'm like, what the? And this dude said, no, yeah, I'm getting it for $1,500, and then this other guy said he was getting it for cheaper than that because we have a store and there'll be a couple people in here and they'll chat and then I'll jump in, and I was like, that is freaking crazy because that price is from 15 years ago,
Wow.
So I had been tossing around the idea of us selling foam, or me selling foam to supplement our income. And I just wanted to know what everybody was paying because I knew what I could buy it for, what we could make it for, and was it worth it? Is it worth, because there's a lot of headache that goes along with it, with different blends and different times of the year, and you're going into winter and you got summer blend and you got to unload it, So I just kind of wanted to know. And when I got around Dallas area, what are you paying? It was crazy. And I was like, oh man, this is going to turn into an all-out war, and it's not going to be good for anybody.
Yeah, I think I saw you say something about that on, was it yesterday maybe, that you said that, and I thought, because there's been some posts in there that I'm like, I just shake my head. Like, I don't know.
And I don't know, probably a lot of people don't know that in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we have about 600 foamers. So it's probably the most saturated area here in Houston. Just because we had, so many foam companies start out in Texas and warehouses here.
Right.
And so I think that's what it is. And when everybody started paying sprayers by the set instead of like by the hour, then they quickly racked up enough money to buy a rig in a couple of months.
Right.
So the sprayer started his own company, and it's just continuing today. So if they're going to pay by the kit and you get that much money, I looked at my husband and I go, I think you should spray foam.
Get in on it.
Let's get in on this.
What does your husband do?
He is electromechanical engineer, and he works on robots and any kind of rollers, gears, pumps, anything that makes crap move.
Wow.
Robotics. He builds race car engines for his car. We always got some car or engine going in our driveway.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the car I have has got this $12,000 custom engine in it, like a Hellcat, just so he can take it to the racetrack. Yeah. So I have to drive to work in it and go sideways every freaking stop sign.
You just slide into work.
We have this great big hill, and when I take off after work, I go sideways.
Oh, funny.
Just so he can go to the racetrack like once a year. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's crazy. But so that's what he does. That's what he enjoys doing.
Okay. Yeah. What was I going to say? It's gone. 50-year-old brain. It's gone.
I know.
He
did. He took a concrete lifting class. He actually went to North Carolina Foam. Yeah, he spent a week with Mike Callahan was there, and I think Josh McCoy went too. And so, and my boss went, because they asked me, about it, and I was like, do I know how to do it? Yes. Do I want to do it? No. I think I think there's a lot of liability in overlifting. I have customers who've been doing it for 20 and 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And there might be some, I've signed some disclosure agreements that I won't disclose
Mm-hmm.
how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
But go take the class,
Yeah.
and then come back if you feel like, then I'll sell you a rig.
Yeah.
But he didn't end up buying one.
Yeah. Well,
It was a little more than he thought.
Yeah. And I think that's always the case, right? Like it ends up being, if they get in there, it's like, oh, this is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish the foamers would do that.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was a mandatory 1 week work on the job first before you could get a rig.
Right.
And then we probably wouldn't have as many people selling used rigs or getting out when they get in.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So Intech, you've been there for 7 years.
Yeah.
And we'll give a little plug to Intech because we're coming to the end. So go ahead and give a little plug. I know it's not Sunday, but we'll do a little plug for Intech.
They are 3 gentlemen that started the company back in the 1990s, and 2 of them are very, very silent. They don't like to be in the life or the limelight or spotlight or anything like that. Actually, all 3 of them. They just they work like I do. They want to do a good job for their customers and do everything that we do well. Mm-hmm. And so when I was looking for a job, and they said, they had those same values, I was like, I think we could work together. I think it sounds like a good idea. So we together like to be providers of any type of foam equipment, polyurea stuff to help customers get in the business, keep their business running, at the most cost-effective customer building relationship sort of way, I guess.
Yeah. And they've been around for how long has Intech been around? When did they start?
1995.
Oh, since 95.
So 25, yeah, 25 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Great guys. Great.
Yeah.
If you ever have the opportunity to meet them, I think a lot of people have talked to Bob Jutras. He's like a master technician. He does it from his mind, like I do with the parts, Yeah. He's memorized a lot of functions. It's great.
Yeah. All right. So you guys, I guess let people know how they can get a hold of you. Where can they get a hold of you?
Oh, at Intech.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. They can give us a call. Intech has 5 locations. We have San Bernardino, California, Phoenix, Arizona, Arlington, Texas, Dover, New Hampshire, Springdale, Arkansas. Mm-hmm. And then we also have mobile technicians that we work with.
Okay.
Yeah. So we work with a lot of independent people that do their own thing on the side. And I love working with Wendell. If everybody knows Wendell, we work with Wendell. Yeah. He has the same sort of mentality that we do in helping customers and not always out there to make money on a person. We're helping them, and we in return hope that someday they'll buy something from us.
Right. Yeah.
So we have a lot of independents that roam all over the country and do service calls on their own, and we allow them to, make their own money.
Gotcha. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Robin? Please ask away before we say goodbye. And thanks everybody for joining us. I know people have been commenting, but I haven't been. We'll have to go back and respond. to those comments
Right,
after,
right.
but
Thanks for having me.
I'm
It was
thrilled you wanted to be on here. I was so excited. It was like, I think it's a good place for people to kind of get to know who you are outside of what you do, as well as because it's being shared in worldwide and on my pages and stuff. People they may not know you because they're new to the group, or I just think it's a good place for people to get to know you and kind of see how it
I
is.
am yeah,
Yeah.
I am very anxious to always help people.
Mm-hmm.
I want to help people at the lowest price I possibly can help people.
Yeah.
And I'll do just about anything I can to help people, like
Mm-hmm.
come up here on a Saturday so they can drop off their rig and I don't even know who they are. I don't even 6:30 on a Friday night. They're not even my
Yeah.
customer.
Yeah.
But I hate seeing someone not able to do their job and make money and
Right.
provide services for their customers. So I'm always anxious to help however I can. It's not about making money. You have to sell the shit, but
Yeah.
um, I do it at the lowest price I can just to get the satisfaction of I helped him.
Yeah. You know what? And again, like, people remember that. So yeah, I think that's just good business as far as I'm concerned. You're doing it the right way.
Yeah, that's
And
what I try to do.
people can disagree on that, but I'm telling you, like, lately, again, going back to like what's been going on in the different groups, I don't like seeing what I'm seeing, and it's hard. I refrain from commenting until it crosses a line that I'm like, you
Right.
know what? I can't hold my tongue anymore. Like, that's not, and not nobody has to be bashed about that, but it's like, let's engage our brains here and let's use some common sense, because there are new people coming into those groups every single day. Worldwide gets 50 new members a week. That person could be a brand new, like, never been introduced to anybody, and seeing some of those posts, that's their first introduction. It's just not good.
Right, right.
Right.
Well, what I constantly hear is that even though a new person enters and then they're all of a sudden they're saturated with PMs, private
Yes.
messages about
Mm-hmm.
buying from them and how much you buying it for and how much you're going to sell it for. And
Yeah.
I unfortunately I hate that, and I really didn't even know how to.
Oh.
I didn't even know how to do it
Mm-hmm.
until a little while ago.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know who's got time for that, but I guess all those people that
Yeah. And again, it goes back to that. And yes, Wyatt, or the third glass of wine. Do not Facebook and wine. Literally wine, or the drink of wine. But they think because they have access to all those people, they'll just bombard them with messages. No, that's not how it
right,
works. You got to get in there. You have to communicate with members outside of what you're selling. Engage with people. Build that back and forth so they get to know who you are. It's not an instant. You're not instantly going to sell and make all these millions of dollars in sales because you're part of that group. That isn't how it works. And
right,
it should
right.
not be, that should never be the mentality. But I know that is, if you're a numbers driven business, that's what they want. And it's hard. I know that's a hard thing to do. And it's time consuming. You know it. When we first started, remember, it was Sundays, and it'd be like, I don't want to post on Sundays. It's my day off. But you know
Right,
what?
right.
You come around to, like, yeah, you got to spend that extra time to make those, relationships happen.
But I do one thing I do understand because
Mm-hmm.
I worked at Demolec,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a quota at that time. Um, I had just moved to Texas and I had a quota to meet, and I had to sell 5 rigs a month.
Right.
And I was pumping them out.
Mm-hmm.
just so that I could make that commission because I needed it. I mean, to
Yeah.
live.
Right.
And I do understand that as well. If the company does it, the follow-up and the training and so forth, like we did, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's the ones that don't, that sold it at rock bottom price and freaking never talk to them again.
Right. Yes. And yes, Wyatt, that is right.
What he say?
And don't talk politics with Wayne Hawk. I have seen those conversations outside of Worldwide, and I'm like, okay. You guys it's hilarious. They can get pretty in depth. I'll just say that.
Awesome.
We got two very opposite opinions in that realm of politics when they have those conversations, and yeah, it gets pretty crazy. It's always that don't talk about politics, religion, and what's the other one? Like, don't bring those up because they're always like a bad thing. Yes,
right.
Yes, Wyatt, I did see his hat. You guys.
What's it say? I didn't see it.
I think that if I remember right, I don't know if it was a bet or it was some kind of a thing that
sex.
Yes, sex. That's right.
Is it people having sex on the hat?
No, it's like I think it's a Make America Great Again, and that's like so anti Wayne Hawk that it's hilarious. Yeah, it's a MAGA hat. He wore it and he posted it as his profile picture because that was kind of like he lost whatever it was. I don't remember.
He lost the bet?
Yes, it was hilarious because
awesome.
That's so everything he hates is right on that hat. But
awesome.
That's another conversation. But anyways, we should probably wrap it up. We've been on here for a while, so
okay. Well, thanks for having me.
How do they get a hold of you? What's your number?
817-522-7060. That's our office number. Now, I am on the phone. I'm not kidding you. Mm-hmm. When they say I'm on the phone, I really am on the phone. So most people know, they text me and say, call me. That's my,
Right. That's the better way to do it.
That's a better way to do it because I can call them when I'm off the phone. And as soon as I get a free minute, then I will.
Right.
Because I want to help everybody if I can. Yeah. I will.
Yes.
And if I bring in sales for Intech along the way,
there you go.
That's like kind of part of my job.
Right. You got to do that too.
besides talking all day.
Right. Well, we'll let you go help your fellow in the parking
so much.
lot. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for tuning in. And we will see you guys all next week. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Bye,
happy
everybody.
Mother's Day too, by the way.
Oh yeah. Happy Mother's Day. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.